So there's been a number of hot takes recently on how ChatGPT, the AI tool that is beloved by 10th graders with an essay due tomorrow, could potentially dethrone Google as the world's primary search engine. But the question of what that would actually look like has kind of remained up in the air until now. According to an article in The Information, Microsoft has joined the call with plans to roll out an AI-powered version of Bing, or the Arby's of search engines, as I like to call it, that will have ChatGPT integrated into it. And what's crazy is that's happening in just a few months. As a side note, do you guys know what the current Bing logo is? Do you think it's this? Because it's not. When I put together the thumbnail for this video, I went looking for what the current version is, and as it turns out, it's this. I mean, come on, Bing, that's pretty low effort. I mean, nothing says that we just pulped our graphic design team with 3,000 revisions like our logo is a font. So while ChatGPT has impressed everybody from your Aunt Millie to your college buddy that lost 10K in Bitcoin, I'm not sure it's ready to take on Google as a search engine, even with Microsoft's horsepower behind it. Large language models like ChatGPT have a lot of issues that need to be worked out before they can be considered as search engines. As that technology gets better, Google is still pretty ahead of the game in terms of large language models. And while they may look dormant on that front, they're not a sleeping giant. There was news that Google recently issued a code red in terms of AI development, but as Emad Mystique, the founder of Stability AI, recently pointed out, stories about how ChatGPT will kill Google are a bit silly. Google have the best full-stack LLM team and infrastructure with custom chips. Nobody can beat them on innovation, cost, or go-to market. Institutional inertia is the only limiting factor. Emad did note that Google is, quote, not communicating this well to shareholders and the market and being overly cautious here. And I agree with that. If there's one thing that Google's pace has lost, it's that wow factor. They've issued papers, they've made some press releases and released some small scale demos, but it isn't anything like, Aunt Millie using Lensa to create an anime profile for her Facebook account. I signed up for AI Test Kitchen, which is Google's Lambda test bed beta version or whatever. It's pretty much a joke. The only scenario that I was presented with was in which the AI pretended to be a dog that wanted to talk about tennis balls. If I tried to move the conversation into any other place, the AI shut me down. On the flip side, while ChatGPT is very good at answering questions in a conversational manner, it also lies. Behind its appearance of literacy, ChatGPT is basically an autocomplete engine. It takes your prompt, your chat history, and tries to figure out what comes next. And while its answers are usually plausible, they're not always accurate. I'm always tickled by ChatGPT's lies. I recently asked it about AI music generators, and it made up this whole thing about a program that existed at the University of Georgia, a department, the whole thing. And when I called ChatGPT out on it, it was like, yeah, I lied. Whatever. The confidence in which it lies and the fact that it has no remorse for doing it, I don't know. I just find it funny. So with no way to distinguish between lies and truth, you need another source to verify anything that ChatGPT says to you. And ironically, that would be Google. To be fair, Microsoft haven't released any information on how they plan to integrate ChatGPT into Bing. And there is some speculation that it might only be on the back end, meaning that you and I will never actually see a chat box when we log into Bing. But if that's the case, is that Microsoft maybe just going for a dunk on a Goodwill press release? That said, Microsoft does seem to be doubling down on AI. Panos Panay, the man in charge of Windows, recently stated at CES, AI is going to reinvent how you do everything on Windows, quite literally. And at the same show, AMD just announced that its new Ryzen 7000 mobile processors will be the first x86 chip to contain a dedicated AI engine. Opening pitch for the new improved Bing will be in March. Let's see if they fix their logo before that. So let me know your thoughts. Is this a Google killer, or do you think it's going to be vaporware? Do you ever foresee yourself saying, let me Bing that for you? Let me know in the comments below. We'll see you.